Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Cherry and Beez. We wanted to come at you this week with a little bit of something different. That's something that we just want to try and do, and we hope that you're going to enjoy as well. We want to just start asking questions. Just bring up the topic of conversation a little bit.
Just a little bit. I wish I had a drink with Stacy on this one.
I have my festive Day of the Dead mug out and my most fancy shirt that I ironed for this occasion. I'm just kidding, I didn't iron it. Yes, because we want to talk and have the conversation that no one is having. Let's have the conversation about porn. The pornography. The pornography.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. Difficult topic, difficult week. We're gonna get through this though. We're gonna ask some questions. We're gonna give our side of how we feel.
Have some laughs.
Yep, have some laughs, have some dark sprinkles.
We're just gonna dive in, and we want to know what you think too. I think because I just feel like no one is really talking about it, and the idea of I think softcore or just in general porn, but especially softcore is just so softcore porn, not softcore. It's just cream style corn.
Let's get this straight. We're talking about softcore porn,
niblets or peaches and cream. That's all I want to know.
Oh no.
But no, I do. I feel like everything is just it's very it's on Instagram and it's on TikTok, as I established last week by how much I've only been on it for a month, and the amount of and is there an age limit on it? I don't know. I have no idea how old the girls are that I'm getting it from, and it feels like it's on every single app, and I feel like it's slowly infiltrated every single aspect of my life. And but I feel like we're not talking about it. I feel like it's just kind of something that all of a sudden was there, and we just it's just there, it's existing, and so we just exist with it, sort of.
I agree. I also think it's one of those things that has been overly normalized.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Something that people
well, it's just a part of every day. I can be waiting for transit and watch porn at the same time within seconds. I just have to scroll. I just have to go up, up enough. Yeah, once or twice, linger on the right videos the night before. And I am fully entertained and aroused waiting for the train.
It was at this moment that she knew. She fucked up.
And it is, and it Don't let me on your cab.
Oh
no. Bring my leg spreader.
Stealing your secrets. We'll get into that in another episode.
Yeah. Sassy secret times. And sometimes I like to bring in a leg spreader. Occasionally this week, I got gems on my nails just so that when I do the old burns a little bit more. Secret time. I don't do that. That would be super. That would not be hygienic. I just maybe that's it though. I'm exposed to so much.
Well, so that's how we wipe our asses with nails, right?
Yeah, and I've been exposed to so much of it that I can't get off a normal way anymore. So I need to keep it fun and exciting. Yeah, and injury always does that because you never know how much it's gonna hurt.
Don't try this at home.
Don't try it at home.
I do.
That's why I had the pom-pom on the week before because
I
needed a little soft touch up there. Do I need to stop doing it? Is it the twist or is it the nail?
I think it's both.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think it's a mixture.
I'm not sure, but nonetheless, though, I don't know. I've been made feel uncomfortable, and I've also been in open relationships that were just completely open. But I think that that's the difference I see between the open relationships that I've been in and everything else is that when I'm scrolling through TikTok or I'm doing whatever, I never consented to the porn. It's just in front of me, and it's forced on me. Almost like that episode of Black Mirror where he's just sitting there and he's being forced to watch it, and if he closes his eyes the ad stops.
I feel like that.
But just opening up, I guess cuz I don't know, you said you had you had the dialogue, I guess is what you're saying. And I guess I've had a few of those kinds of conversations, but I mean I don't know, when you've been in an open relationship, of course you've had conversations about things like that, and there are their boundaries and there are things that you're comfortable with, and I don't think that's something that necessarily gets discussed when it's being forced on you. It's harder to even discuss it. But even just I don't know, Tinder was not a thing when I started dating. Snapchat was not a thing when I started dating. There wasn't Facebook when I started dating. There was no such thing. Maybe you could hit up someone on MySpace or your Nexopia page, but
I remember
MySpace. But there wasn't really there wasn't this avenue that it was just so easy and so instant. And being single for the first time when it was actually really overwhelming, to the point where I almost feel bad for your generation and almost everyone else that comes after you or even a little bit before you, just because they're never going to know what it used to be. Like when I was like in middle school and boys wanted to go out with me, they would have to call my parents' house and talk to my dad and ask to speak to me. And then my dad could decide whether or not these guys could talk to me on the phone.
Did not happen for me. And I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I called my friends and stuff, but never for boys. Like, well, actually, I talked on the home phone with a boy. Yeah, we were in like grade 6. So I'm like kind of in that in-between stage where I kind of didn't have that much technology growing up, but I still had like a home computer.
By the time that I feel like you would have been really dating, it would have been a thing.
Exactly. And like
I never went on a date and had the guy instantly be on Tinder right afterwards. I think that seems weird to me. And I'm not that much older than you. And just based off of that time, like that age gap and how different our experiences is, makes me feel like this hasn't been a thing for very long. And if it hasn't been a thing for very long, then why aren't we talking about it? Just asking questions.
Well, I feel like this is why divorce rates and stuff have gone up so drastically. Everyone thinks there's so many fish to see. That everyone's better than someone else.
Just seeking out that quality fish.
Because there's all these things that are being thrown in our face being like, well, why doesn't she look like this? Or why doesn't she do this? Or why can't she...
I don't even necessarily think that it's all from the guy's point of view, because most divorce, I believe most divorce are actually instigated by the women, if I check my statistics properly, but I do believe that's true.
Do you not think that it's going on? Every single male I've ever had a conversation
behind closed
with
doors
that hasn't been like in my life as like a significant other has told me that men are dogs and men will always be dogs, and no matter who they are, they will always be a dog.
Like, I mean, to a certain degree, like
that's horrible to
people don't change. I've met some good ones though. I mean, there's like the occasional, like, I don't know if you can make or break an entire
100%.
person based off of one quality, but I mean, I've also seen the other end of it where it does become addictive. It does take over someone's life, and I've seen a guy that genuinely had calluses on his because he did the gentle time too much. That's aggressive. Like, that's to the point where there are literally negative consequences. Himself, yeah. You are hurting yourself to a means to this end.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like we should normalize first date, like, asking, like, what your boundaries are with this kind of thing.
I think it
just looks so down upon. Like, I feel like you're just, I don't know. I've had a lot of experiences where it's hard, like, it's very hard to bring up. Like, it's embarrassing. Like, you're even having to, like, ask.
Yeah, like, just, like, and it is. It's the same reason why I feel like we wanted to do this. And it's just, like, let's start having that conversation. Yes, because it hasn't actually been a thing. Because there's this, 5-year age difference, plus or minus, between me and you. And there's already this dramatic change. Like, let's just start having the conversation and, like, having open dialogue. Because I feel like there is sort of a negative shadow on having the talk initially. And two people need to be comfortable and, like, love each other and, like, have that sort of relationship going, I think. But I did anyways before we led to, like, any kind of open relationship where there is that sense of trust and, like, building and stuff. But I still think that the conversation just needs to be had and needs to be something that is more accepted to be had, because I think that's just it, is that a lot of girls feel needy or they feel clingy and they feel whiny and they just are too afraid of being left, and they're like, I don't want him to think. Yeah, I don't want.
Could feel the same way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And there's just this kind of, it's just like a negative connotation attached to the entire idea of having the conversation, because people don't want to be seen as, like, I mean, I could have not had this conversation with you because, I'm a prude. I'm a prude with, like, beads that want to twiddle upwards and a leg spreader. And it's like, like, don't think I'm a prude, so I don't want to have this conversation with you. And the girls, I think, or maybe the guys, you know what I mean? The two people going into the conversation feel the same way, because it's so easy to make someone think that just, like, sex is one of those things that it's so easy to classify someone's entire identity on.
100%, yeah.
And it does make up a large portion of your identity. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you know what I mean? If you don't, if you're not okay with it, then you're a prude. If you are okay with it, then you're a slut. And the other two sides are just going against each other, and they're just fighting instead of trying to attack the actual enemy, which is the fact that there's not an open, like, conversation being had. There's no common ground being found because no one's talking. And it's just fighting.
Not an understanding that there's gonna be differences amongst people. Like, again, it's one of those things where it's like a common argument that is happening with so many topics where it's just like you're either one or the other. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and there's no sort of middle ground, I think, but I think it's all sort of on a scale, but I don't even think that it needs to be something that's judged. It's just it's how someone feels. And like no matter what you say or no matter what you call them, that doesn't really change how that person feels.
Or what they're okay with. Like, everyone's different. Everyone's allowed to have different feelings. Everyone's allowed to have different opinions, and that's the same in relationships.
Yeah.
I don't understand why there's like this like idea that when you walk into a relationship, it's always going to be the same kind of like environment or like the same.
And I think that people have a bad tendency of doing that, where they like they pack up all their shit from the last relationship, they put it in the bags. This is known as the baggage, and then we take it and we drop it down in the next house. Do you know what I mean? And they're like, this looks like a good place to unpack all of this shit. Is right here with you right now. I know that you've never done anything against me, but I still have a lot of pent up feelings that I've never been had a chance to talk about because I've never had a chance to have the conversation.
Don't be a dick.
Of knowledge. Yeah, and I think that leads right down to it, right? Is the key factor is just don't be a dick. Right? Take your partner's emotions and worries and concerns into consideration. Yes, listen to them. And
don't
that's the other
react, just listen and come out with a response in a nice
focus
way.
On what they are saying and respond it as. Thank you. Stop tempting me. We know I just admitted to my sexuality. Yeah, I'm definitely down to do a part 2. I'm definitely down to keep asking questions because I think that we need to ask questions, and I think it's important to ask questions, especially when something's being forced on you and you're led to in a situation where it's just there. It's just there, and I feel like they've just put it there because even since the beginning of time, even like or not the beginning of time, but like, okay, so I remember when I don't remember how old I was or where I was or what I was, but I remember there was like an ad, and it was like we were like academically like studying this commercial basically. And it was an ad for some sort of liquor company. And in the ice that they had at the bottom of the drink that they poured the liquor into, the dark parts of the ice, there was 3 cubes and it spelled out sex. Because on a subconscious level, you would associate drinking that with having it. Is it necessary? Is it necessary? Like, I don't want it. Like, is it necessary? I don't want it. Like, that's how I feel whenever, like, I linger too long on my TikTok reel, and then all of a sudden it all just becomes, like, softcore porn. I just have to look away and scroll as fast as I can because it's so, like, mortifying that I can't look away. So I have to be like, don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. And if I do that for long enough, the algorithm figures that I don't want it, and then it finally stops giving it to me. But like, yeah, no, it has been around for a long time. I think that we should start asking questions about it. I think that we should start talking about it. And like, yeah, a part 2. I think that it's time to ask more questions because what is this?
Leave us your questions.
Yeah.
We'll talk about them.
Always drop a comment below. And if you have any things that you want us to ask questions about, let us know as always.
Tussle our channel.
Always tussle our channel. You subscribe. If the notification bell pops up, you click that too. And you what? That's right. We tussle our channel. Bra bra.
Bra 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 bra.
That's right.
You again.
Wait.